All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving headfirst into a really radical vision for the future of finance. This comes from a text by Omar Arizona, and let me tell you, the central idea here isn't about tearing down the banking system. Nope, it's about a total transformation, getting it ready for the age of AI.
So you see this quote right here. It's pretty powerful. From the get-go, the author makes it clear this isn't some doomsday scenario for banks. It's the opposite. It's a redemption. The argument is that we're about to rediscover what banking is really for and give it a whole new purpose for our digital future.
Okay, so, a system to be redeemed. What does that even mean in practice? Well, this isn't just some fuzzy, high-level concept. The author lays out a detailed blueprint, a real architectural plan. So let's get into it, let's break down the core of what's being proposed here.
And right away, here's a huge point. Forget crypto. Seriously. This vision basically says that decentralized finance, or DeFi, got it wrong. It's not about replacing trust with lines of code. The whole idea here is to evolve the trust we already have in our institutions, to make them stronger by anchoring them in, well, in reality, in stuff we can actually verify.
So, the heart of economic truth. This is where it gets really interesting. At the absolute core of this whole new world is one single, super powerful idea, a universal ledger. But here's the twist. It doesn't just track money, it tracks real economic activity.
And this is it, the open-source digital receipt register. You can think of this as the engine for the entire system. The author calls it a digital highway, and I think that's a great way to put it. It's a public database where every single transaction for every product gets recorded. But, and this is key, it's all done anonymously. The data then flows back to wherever that product came from, creating this incredible, real-time map of a country's actual productivity.
Okay, let's walk through how this would actually work, step by step. Imagine you're at the store and you buy some Kenyan tea. You see a QR code on the bag, you pull out your phone and you scan it. Boom. In that instant, a private AI on your device grabs the receipt data, strips out everything that identifies you, your name, your card number, all of it, and then sends a totally anonymous record of that purchase to the public register. And from there, that little piece of data shoots back to the Bank of Kenya. It becomes a verifiable piece of proof of Kenya's economic output. It's a small act that builds national sovereignty.
So, you're probably wondering, what about the big guns? What about the Federal Reserve? Well, in this future, they're not the villains trying to stop progress. They're actually the guardians of this transition. The Fed's job would be to encourage and reward the banks that get on board with this new framework, making sure the whole thing is stable. See, banks aren't going away. They're becoming like offline anchors for this whole new digital civilization.
All right, next up, the checking account gets reborn. This whole system would completely transform one of the most basic financial tools we all have. Your checking account, it stops being just a place to park your money and becomes something way more powerful.
So here's the new value chain. Your checking account basically becomes this QR-based identity layer. Every single time you make a purchase, you're creating a digital receipt. That receipt becomes an anonymous data point. And that data point, it's proof that you participated in the economy. And if you participate enough, you hit a certain threshold, and you can actually mint what the author calls a gold receipt. It's a totally new kind of asset, one that represents your real, verified contribution to the economy.
This is a really big deal. Look at how this redefines what financial trust even means. Right now, we use a credit score. And what is that really? It's a history of how well you handle debt. But this new system throws that out. Instead, you have a receipt record. And that's not about debt at all. It's about your history of actual verified economic activity, your contribution. It's a fundamental shift from how much do you owe to what have you done.
Okay, I know what you're thinking. Privacy, this sounds like a privacy nightmare, right? Well, the plan has an answer for that, and it's called a sacred sequence. It's a three-step process that puts privacy first. Step 1, everything is processed on your device first, in private. Step 2, nothing goes public until it's completely anonymized. Protection comes before participation. And step 3, only that clean, anonymous, verified data ever hits the public ledger. The bottom line here is the privacy isn't an afterthought. It's presented as absolutely non-negotiable.
So coupons, not crypto. If we're not using crypto, then what's the main digital asset? What's the new instrument for credit? The answer is going to sound surprisingly familiar, but it's been totally reimagined.
Yeah, that's right, coupons. Think about the difference here. Speculative crypto, its value is based on, well, code,
belief, and a whole lot of market volatility. But these new digital coupons, they're completely different. Their value is backed by something real. Portfolios of actual verified consumer purchases that are sitting right there on the public register. It's reality versus speculation.
I love this quote because it just nails the core ideas so perfectly. The QR code becomes the new checkbook, and the open source register becomes the new vault. It's that simple. A tiny, everyday action, like scanning a QR code, is now how you prove a transaction. And that public register, with all that secure, verified, anonymous data, that's the new Fort Knox.
A market for human activity. So we've got this massive global pile of perfectly clean, totally anonymous data. What do we do with it? It doesn't just sit in a digital warehouse gathering dust. No, it actually creates a brand new kind of market, something we've literally never seen before.
Just think about this for a second. We have markets today for trading really complex, sometimes really risky financial instruments. But this would be a secondary market for verified human activity. Imagine tech companies, scientists, innovators of all stripes being able to bid for access to these perfect, pristine data sets that show exactly what consumers are doing, all without ever compromising a single person's privacy.
And what you get is this powerful new economic engine, one that generates real value based on truth and transparency, not just speculation. And look who benefits. It's a win-win-win-win. Banks get a new revenue stream from managing all this data. Governments get these incredible real-time insights into their economies. Innovators get the cleanest data imaginable to build the future. And you, the consumer, your everyday participation is what fuels the value of the entire system.
Okay, let's get to the final piece of the puzzle. This is maybe the most ambitious, most far-reaching part of the whole vision. Let's see how all of this, the register, the coupons, the data market, how it all builds a foundation for the future of AI.
The premise here is simple. Artificial General Intelligence, or AGI, is coming. It's not a matter of if, but when. And when it arrives, it's going to reshape civilization as we know it. Now, a force that powerful can't just be let loose. For it to operate safely, it's going to need a stable, lawful, and ethical foundation to stand on.
So where does it find that foundation? The answer, according to this plan, is the banking system. The redeemed banking system, to be specific. Think about it. The centuries-old structure of checks, balances, and settlement that banks have perfected, that is being proposed as the perfect, ready-made operating system for a powerful AGI. This is such a powerful idea. AGI will not replace you, it will run on you. The vision isn't that AI just makes banks disappear. No way. Instead, banks become the structural memory for AGI. The AI will literally learn from and mirror the systems of trust and verification that banks have built, grounding its incredible intelligence in something real, lawful, and human-tested.
So, what's the path forward for banks? Well, the message here is pretty direct. The open source register isn't a threat, it's your lifeline. The QR system isn't a gimmick, it's your future. This whole brand currency system, it's your evolution. So the choice for the financial world is laid out pretty starkly. Adapt to this new reality of verifiable data, or, as the author puts it, get left behind by history.
When you boil it all down, what we've just explored is this profound shift, a move away from a financial system built on managing risk to one that's built on verifying reality. It is a massive, incredibly detailed blueprint for the future. And it leaves us with one final, very provocative question to chew on. Is this the actual redemption of banking, or is it a beautiful fantasy?